What's up, guys? So as you can see, I got me some new rubber on there. Went out this morning and I got 4 new tires for the car. They're BF Goodrich radials. They're the exact same size as I had on there before, the 255/60 R15, which is exactly what I wanted on here. This size looks good on there. They're nice and fat. Got some nice tread on them. And they were $134 a piece, and so with 4 of them, by the time they rotated them and balanced them and all that stuff, the total was like $650 and change. So that was like a month's worth of working for that, but it was worth it. You know, I needed them, and they'll last a long time. And I think they look great. So I just got to do a little touch-up work on the paint here, where they took off the old weights and, you know, put new ones on and all that kind of stuff. But today was kind of gloomy and really humid, so I didn't want to try to spray paint them because they'd probably mess up the paint. So just wait until later to do that. Another thing is some plastic here. This is actually Plexiglas, and I know I had mentioned I was going to buy some, but my grandpa, being as awesome as he is, he actually had some of this Plexiglas sitting around in his shop and he wasn't using it. So I think it'll be good. It's pretty thick, and I think it's about the perfect thing for me to make my covers for my lights here. And it's clear, so I can make them clear first and you know, use it for a while and see how I like it, and if I want to paint them gray, then I can go ahead and paint them gray later on. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try to mark out my template for the covers, and then go ahead and cut them out and see what it looks like. But just thought I'd make a video right now to show the tires and the starting of the covers there. And the next thing to do for saving up money wise is the windshield. That big old crack over there, and also probably need to work on the windshield wipers, see if they're going to work the motor, and put new blades on them before I get the new windshield, so I don't scratch up the new windshield, you know. But I think that's it for now. I'll go ahead and start cutting these things out and see what happens. Alright guys, so you can't see it, but I got my shape traced out here, and I'm going to attempt to use the jigsaw here. I'm just going to cut a little corner off here and see what happens, and you know, see if it'll work or not. If not, I'll have to find an alternative method to cut this. Well, it went right through it. Kind of created a little blue thing there, but I think it'll work, so go ahead and try. So I got one of them cut out. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to clean up the edges a little bit, and then go test fit it and cut out the other one. Alright guys, so I'm tackling another project here. It's kind of in between the headlight lens project, I know, but I just got the desire to go ahead and try to do this. What I'm doing is, as you can see, I got the spare tire holder out, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop the tank, because that way I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can get rid of all the water that's in the tank. You know, there's a little bit left in there, and it's been giving me trouble with the, you know, carburetor and everything, so I can get rid of that once and for all. And I can also try to figure out the sending unit problem for the fuel gauge, because that doesn't work. So I'm pretty sure it's the sending unit, because it sat with water in it, so it's probably all screwed up. So I have dropped the tank before. I dropped my Red Jeep tank. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, and but I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So the first thing I had to do was get the bottom of that spare tire carrier holder thing there, and I got those out with just the 2 bolts on the side there, these brackets there, and then just took the key off the front part. So now I'm looking at 2 more bolts, one there and one over here for the just top of that thing there. And then from what I've read, I haven't read too much, I think that it's just these bolts over here for that thing, maybe probably some in the middle there, and then 2 over there for that side of that bracket thing, and a couple other things. So as always, I probably won't be able to do too much video stuff on this, but I'm going to try to show a little bit here and there since I got this thing higher up in the air than I usually do. So that's it for now. Alright guys, so I got the tank out after much difficulty, and I actually had to take my whole side exhaust pipe off, and because that one, you know, the Y pipe is broke, the whole thing comes out, you know, and I had to loosen that side up too. So you know, it's not really a big deal because I gotta replace that Y pipe anyways, but you know, it just kind of happened sooner than I thought it was going to. And as you can see, the tank looks pretty gnarly up here, up around the sending unit area, because the water that had sat in it, and it also started leaking out of the bottom here when we were when I was trying to get it out, and I actually drilled a hole right there to let the rest of the gas out, because I knew I was gonna have to buy another one anyways at this point. So got it out, and I don't have any money right now because, you know, I just bought tires, so I gotta wait like 2 weeks till I get paid again, and then I'll be ordering a gas tank and the stuff for the sending unit and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But this allows me, since I got the tank out, to go ahead and also all this stuff up here, you know, and clean it up a bit and maybe put some paint on it to try to help protect it. You know, it's real nice open, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm also going to pull my carb back off and go through that and make sure there's no water in there. You know, because the water that was coming in there, I know that was a little bit in there, is probably sitting down in the bottom of the bowl, just rolling around. So I'm going to pull that back out and clean that stuff out and just tinker with it while I'm making some money to do the gas tank. So that's it for now. I might go ahead and upload this video just so you guys can see this progress, because I don't know when I'll have some more. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Another day on the project, right? It's always something. It'll be worth it though when I get done with it. Alright guys, so since I have my tank out, I figured might as well go ahead and pull the carb off and just go through it briefly again, just to make sure it didn't have any water sitting in it. So I just got it all back together after I did that, and I didn't see any water, you know, but it's kind of hard to tell with just the gassy residue that was in there. So either way, it's clean. I blew it all out and put it just back together. And since I had it off, I also went ahead and kind of touched up my intake from what I could get with some more of my orange heat paint, and I think that turned out pretty good. I got the rag in there, you know, and I just cleaned off this area where the gasket goes with some acetone. I'm getting ready to put the carb back on, and I'm going to hook up the fuel line back there up to just like a regular gas tank with some fresh gas in it, and I'm going to run the car just so it kind of runs it through with some fresh gas, you know, just to try to help clean it out a little bit. Before I do that, I'm probably going to pump out the line. You know, I'm going to go ahead and hook it up to the fresh gas, and then I'm just going to pump it with the starter to get the rest of the bad crap that's in the lines out. And you know, I'll pump it into this little thing here with just the starter, and then I'll go ahead and run it through the motor and crank it up and everything. So that's what I'm doing right now, just a little bit of project stuff, and I think that's it for now. So I got the covers made on the headlights here for the Vette, and I'm really happy with the way they turned out. As you can see, I painted them black in here. I wet sanded them down, then sprayed some satin black in there, and put my lights back in, and then I went ahead and finished up my acrylic plastic covers here. And what I ended up doing for mounting was putting a piece of wood right here and cutting it at an angle so it would be flush, you know, with make the plastic flush with the edge of the bumper here, the hood, whatever you want to call it, and just shoved it down a little bit so the air would just go up over it like I was talking about. And so that's in there with one screw, and then I put two little metal brackets on each top and screwed them into the headlight holders here, the wooden holders that I made for the headlights itself, and then, you know, drill the hole up here for the actual plastic to screw down. And I countersunk the screws enough to where it's just a little bump. I can always tweak it later if I want to. And I got this side over here. One thing I did notice that I can't really do much about is the original headlight covers were actually bent a little bit. They had a slight curve to them, and so there's kind of a dip right here, or an open space, I guess you could say, and it doesn't really matter that much. You know, you can't really see it unless you're looking at it, and then it doesn't even look bad. It just, you know, it's there, so that's alright, but can't really do much about that, like I said. I think that's it. I think they turned out really good. And as of right now, I think I'm just going to leave it to where the clear covers are going to be on there all the time, because I actually like it better than I thought I would. There is obviously still room for me to change my mind. If I want to, I can always paint them gray when I go to paint the car gray. Or I can just make another set of them to where I can switch them out if I want to. You know, it's not that big a deal. So, but as of right now, I think they look pretty sick with the black insides, and it's going to look even better once I get the car gray, because it'll be all blend together, you know. So I just thought I'd make a video of that. I should be ordering my gas tank and sending unit tonight. It's going to be like $200 for both of them, I think, which ain't too bad, you know. I found them kind of cheaper on eBay. So that'll be good. I did run the car with a boat tank I have hooked up back here. You know, just hooked up the boat tank down to the line up into the hose that runs up to the fuel pump, so I could just kind of move it around the yard when I needed to, and let it run for a good half an hour at least yesterday and again today, and adjusted the carburetor some, and it sounded better. It still sounds a little odd, kind of walking around at idle, you know, probably just because it's been sitting so long, and it's finally getting some fresh gas in it, because I know I was still getting a little bit of water every time I ran it, even though I tried to siphon most of it out when I first got the car. But anyways, that's where it is right now. I'll show you guys in the next part probably the installation of the fuel tank and the sending unit and all that kind of good stuff, and hopefully that'll get my gauge to working, my fuel gauge, and then I can get back on to the windshield. And so we'll see you then.